Ever since I was a little boy, I've always wanted to live a normal life. I was born on January 21st, 2006 in the city of Carmichael, California. I lived a pretty rough life growing up, dealing with a life-ending sickness and trying my best to live a normal childhood. I consider my childhood has been quite an adventure.
All right, Nikki, come on. Ready?
I'd like to thank my brothers and my parents. My parents, Jose and Alma Gonzalez, decided to have 5 boys: Junior, Carlos, Andy, Steven, and me. My parents see me as a miracle child. They're very cautious on the things that I do. At the age of 3 years old, I dealt with the life-ending stage 4 cancer. Going through different chemotherapy, radiations, and 18 surgeries, my parents always remind me that I'm not a normal kid. Growing up, I tried to be a normal kid, like all the kids I'd be around.
Nikki, what? Tell him what your name is. Tell him what your name is.
But when I realized that I wasn't able to do what they were able to do, it gave me a second look at life. As I got older and closer to God, I realized that cancer and God was the reason why my life is shaped the way it is. After the Make-A-Wish, getting the call from my oncologist, clearing me to go to school was life-changing news. It told me I was able to be a kid again. I remember going to kindergarten, I didn't want to leave my parents aside. I was emotionally attached to them. Once I got older and growing up day by day, things got easier for me. Being able to live life, I got more comfortable with the life I was living, knowing that I'm different from others. But yet, it didn't stop me from being the man that I am today. At the age of 7, I got introduced to the game of baseball. I didn't know that the sport was going to have such a big impact on my life. I started loving the sport day by day, little by little. The game of baseball helped me through the tough times. Baseball had its ups and downs. Some days I would love it, and then some days I would hate it. Baseball is one of the reasons why I'm the person that I am today. Baseball taught me to become disciplined, humble, patient, caring for others, and hungry to always learn new things. All the memories I created in baseball will always be constantly playing in my head. I'm glad it put me on the path to continue baseball. Luckily, my senior came around, and yet I got the news that I wasn't able to play due to a heart diagnosis called cardiomyopathy. It was a major setback, and I fell into a depression state. A sport that I grew up playing with my whole life was gone. Until my grandma and my parents were by my side pushing me to get back on the field and make sure I stay healthy. Unfortunately, my grandma left my family's life a little too early, but it's okay because I know she's watching us from up above. After some time, I was able to throw and hit again. I was finally relieved that I was able to play for my senior season. After all the struggles and roadblocks, it taught me so much. It taught me to always look on the bright side and to never give up on the goals that I have set up for myself. It always helped me to make sure to stay patient and to never rush the process. It turned me into a better person, and I'm glad I was able to play my last few games and able to experience my senior year. Now it's time to hang up my cleats and move on to the next chapter in my life. Now I'm glad to introduce a career for my future. I am happy and proud to say that I have found the love for barbering. This is a career that I decided to follow and to leave my legacy behind to my future kids or to anybody that would love to join the barber industry. Barbering has its ups and downs. Some days you have busy days and slow days, and most definitely no haircut days. When the bad days will come around, and I had no one to cut, no money to be made. I just wanted to give up. My brother introduced me to barbering when I was 15. I didn't really find interest until I turned 16, and that was when all my barber equipment was handed to me from my brother's bosses and coworkers. The beginning of my barber career was pretty difficult. It was a struggle to find friends to cut hair, and it was most definitely a process. I was able to learn from my brother. I was very patient, and I prayed to God every night hoping that it would all pay off, and yet it did. All my prayers from God were answered. My barber career paid off, putting me in a barbershop and booking me with clients. I was finally seeing progress when I would have booked out weekends. And now I moved on to a better position in my barber career as a mobile barber. I am currently a barber for some music artists, and it's such a big blessing for me to have such a big opportunity. It always taught me to be humble and patient, and I certainly do know my legacy will always be remembered and carried down to my future kids. I want to be remembered as a man who overcame many obstacles and never gave up. I always told myself that the roadblocks are the hardest part before living an easy life. I love being a barber, and I'm grateful God put me on this path in my life.